Good morning and welcome back to the Morning Commute with Hopi living in the city. I hope you all had a great weekend, are rested, and ready for another productive week. So this week I am going to continue working on the Vitec 2 panels. We have 5 cards that go on the instrument, and so the gram-positive card has like 100 and something organisms on it. So I had to build those out last week, and then I need to determine which specific card goes with the gram-positive panel for the antibiotics, and then I need to map that up with the Visio workflow document so staff know which card to order, which cards for gram-positive, so it makes it easier. They can just type in the test name when they're adding to the order, and then I'll work on gram-negatives as well this week. And then finally I am working on the Azon instrument, which runs quantiferin TB and procalcitonin. Last week we lost connection for some reason, so I need to check that out this morning. I don't know if it needs to be rebooted or if the connection was reassigned an IP like it did on the Osmo Pros a couple weeks ago. So I need to verify my records. And if that's the case, I need to get with our network engineer to make sure that the IP sticks with the instrument. And then we're supposed to be getting a PolyMedco instrument for fit testing, but that's a real straightforward connection. It's only one test, so I'll build a brand new test for that, and then make sure the low encode CPT codes are ready to go. And then I still need to finish the Osmo Pro billing portion. We had to separate the panel and build 2 separate tests because there were 2 separate CPT codes based on specimen types. So that's on the agenda. I brought some cash today so I could get me some burritos from the vendors, local vendors there. And other than that, we have a video that we're working on. It's for the best Mexican food joints here in the valley. The missus and I agreed upon a few places that we want to share with you all. Places that meet several criteria, including cleanliness, friendly staff, and of course the quality of the food. So that'll be coming up this week. We also are working on editing a video for how to easily replace your capacitor and your AC at home, just because it's getting to be really, really hot, and a lot of times people wait until the last minute to swap those out, and when that occurs, the AC companies usually like to up your cost like hundreds of %. So the piece that you can get, we're gonna put the link to a couple places, maybe even 3. I know you can get it on Amazon, it just takes a few days, but locally there's a couple places you can go. One really, really local, which is like around Elliott and Baseline, between Elliott and Kyrene and Baseline-ish, and you can go pick those up the same day. You don't need a contractor's license, and you basically just need your AC unit's manufacturer name, the model, and the serial number, and then they can pull that information for you. But other than that, it's going to be a good week. It's supposedly going to be pretty hot. But yesterday we did a barbecue. We had chicken and beef quite early in the day, actually before noon, because I didn't want to be out there when it was really super hot. So I did the barbecue, and then the missus cut all the fixings up and did the shells. And then the boys just came and ate whenever they were ready. So yeah, that's what's going on. And sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, and comment below. Let me know what you did this weekend and what your plans are for Father's Day. It's coming up pretty soon.
Crash on Friday that took the life of the pilot that I think is worth mentioning, even though it happened in Washington State. Worth mentioning because the pilot who was killed was 90-year-old retired Major General William Anders, a name that might not sound super familiar, but a picture that he took is very familiar. Anders was the astronaut who took that iconic Earthrise photo in 1968 during the Apollo 8 mission, a photograph which shows our planet as this blue marble from space. You know, it's not a half crescent, but it's about a 2/3. You can only see about 2/3 of the Earth because the rest of it is, you know, it's not facing the sun. And it's a picture that many credit with helping to start the environmental movement, because it shows us kind of out there how delicate and isolated Earth appears from space. Here's William Anders on his iconic picture, and how it happened to happen.
When the Earth came up, I basically just pointed the camera, got color film, got a long lens so the Earth would be bigger.
Oh, I got it right. Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
Wow. By the way, it was the first color photograph of the Earth from space.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I know it's a very famous photograph.
Yeah, you see the surface of the moon in the foreground, and then the Earth is kind of rising, and it really is.
I don't know if you guys saw that. Harley
photo credited with sparking the global environmental movement. Astronaut,
let out a big old
former
puff of
astronaut,
smoke.
Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, wrote on X, "Bill Anders forever changed our perspective of our planet and ourselves with his famous Earthrise photo on Apollo 8. He inspired me and generations of astronauts and explorers. My thoughts are with his family and friends." 90 years old and still piloting, by the way. It is 5:49 now on Arizona's Morning News. KTAR traffic alert. And here's John Roller with the update from the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center. A lot of problems in downtown.
Yeah, right you are, Jim. Give yourself some extra time if you're just headed out the door. We do have a full closure. Westbound I-10 closed between 7th Street and 19th Avenue. Had a crash just adjacent to the 7th Avenue on-ramp. Just heard from DPS on that. So that's where the crash happened. But this closure causing heavy backups all the way back to the mini stack now. If you are coming in from the East Valley on the westbound Loop 202, may want to think about just heading north on the 51 to McDowell or Thomas, although McDowell really starting to jam up right around 19th Avenue. So extra time if you are headed in on the westbound I-10. That earlier crash on